Hello, welcome to Laura's View and Tarot 2. Thank you for joining me. Today's date is Thursday, September 11th, 2025. This video may not have my usual good cheer, but it does have my heartfelt sincerity in the topic I'm going to discuss today. And that is the fact that yesterday, a patriotic American and young father, Charlie Kirk, was killed on a Utah campus. And his voice was silenced, although his legacy, I'm sure, will live on. And to me, that legacy was one of listening to others with courtesy and responding to them with logic, data, and kindness. In all the clips I ever saw of Charlie Kirk, he never called names. He never stooped to behavior that was unbecoming or that wouldn't honor the basic humanity of whoever he was talking to. He may have shot their counter arguments out of the water, but he did so respectfully. And he will be sorely missed. And I got to thinking about how this death, like so many other losses we've had, first of all, it generates a lot of intense emotion, which is, I believe, the purpose of these events. And it bolsters up what we've learned over the years and was commented on 61 times by the 17 team that they want us divided. Divided, we are weak. I'm going to take you to a share screen that mentions something along that line. And just a reminder that we don't have to play the games that they're hoping we will play. We don't have to stoop to behaviors or attitudes that are trying to be fostered in us. We can rise above our programming and shake it off, and maybe in the process help others too. Let me go to that share screen, okay? Now, because there seems to be a little bit of a crackdown on mentions of the 17 team, I haven't got the exact number on these. I'm just telling you that in any conglomerate site you go to that has those, you will find 61 mentions about they want us divided. Let me show you a couple of one example and then some, just a good reminder, okay? This is what we need to remember. We are united. We will prevail. God bless America. And then this is one of the 61 that mentions this phrase. Specific, I want to call your attention to: divided, you are weak. Divided, you fight each other. Divided, you pose no threat. It's a system of control, information warfare. Charlie Kirk was the latest casualty in that information warfare because someone wanted to silence his voice. And someone wanted to do so in a way and in a manner that would evoke a lot of negative reactions from people. We need to understand that people have a right to have opposing viewpoints. And when someone acts out, even from a platform of hate, we don't need to generalize, and we need to be specific to the individual and their actions. So I would encourage everyone that's listening to this, remember, divided you are weak. You can oppose gun violence without opposing all guns. You can oppose violent actions instead of civil discussion. You can be legitimately sorrowful for losses that are sustained by people that should never have happened without resorting to hate or retaliatory violence. There's just no need for that. I want to remind everybody that our strongest strength is the fact that we have free will and we can choose not to participate in the way, again, that evil might want us to participate or retaliate. So it doesn't mean that you're a dish mat, you're a doormat, you're limp and wimpy and weak. It just means that you choose how you're going to respond to a stimulus rather than reacting to it as there are those that might hope. Now, I didn't want to exploit this tragedy, and I don't want to do any kind of deep dives that would be painful for those that knew and loved Charlie Kirk directly to hear. But I would like to do a tarot read before I end this video. And I'm just simply going to ask if we are going to, if the impetus behind these actions was part of that, they want us divided, they want us weak, they want us reactionary rather than responsive. Is this another instance where that was really what's going on, plus additional insights and information? I'm going to switch the camera, work with the cards, and we'll discover that answer together. I think it's quite likely that even though there might have been one or two individuals who will be apprehended and tried for this or held responsible for it, that there may be more going on as far as programming or background influences, puppet masters, etc. So we're just going to see if there's some puppet masters and shadow people working on situations like this, plus additional insights and information. I'll switch the camera, we'll get to it. So we would like to know if there are some puppet masters or shadow figures who are behind the scenes on something like the tragedy of Charlie Kirk, plus additional insights and information. Our first card is the Nine of Pentacles. Then we have the Five of Pentacles. There was definitely money involved. More Pentacles with the Seven of Pentacles. The Ten of Wands. The Hermit. The Six of Wands. And the Seven of Wands. I'll get a couple more cards when we're done and see if there's additional insights to be had, but let's take a look at these. Okay, so the situation is indicated with the Nine of Pentacles. Pentacles are our tangible assets. The Nine often talks about someone who enjoys the nicer things in life, but maybe not beyond their means. So somebody has a lot of means and used it to create this situation. The recent past again shows they've got more planned. So there are more events planned. There's more losses planned. There's more events planned that will generate loosh and cause reaction and division if you fall for it. So let's look at this, because even though it's planned, we could have this be one of the last events that does generate that kind of reaction from people that's used to foster division and discord and distrust across ages, genders, cultures, whatever it might be. Let's look at the near future. It looks like our divine has shown up here because the Hermit often talks about a benevolent, sometimes off-world, but benevolent divine influences saying, you know, we don't have to play these games. We can be very successful at shaking off this programming, understanding that our reactions are being solicited, and that we, again, as so many of those posts from the 17 team said, they want you divided, because divided, you are weak. And we need to stand our ground and push back against that and just say, no, we want accountability for actions. We are not going to be passive. We're not going to be wimpy, but we're also not going to let the tail wag the dog, as I often say. Okay, we're going to choose to react in a way that shows some intelligence and forethought. And when you do that, you're actually not reacting, you're responding. And responding is much more powerful than reacting. Let's get a couple more cards and see what the universe wants us to know. King of Cups and the Eight of Swords. Okay, just looking ahead to the near future, more and more of us are going to be able to be in charge of our emotional intelligence, to respond and not react. Okay? There's going to be times, if that's a new skill for you, that you almost feel like your hands are tied. You want to react because it takes a while to shake off that programming and go, no, I'm going to respond. I'm going to thoughtfully respond. I'm going to say this was a tragedy. It was perpetrated by this person and this person. It doesn't matter what group we might be able to group them into. It is the actions of this person and this person that we're going to hold responsible for what has happened. And we're going to dig a little deeper and see if we can't find the puppet masters and put them out of commission and get them off the playing field. But in the meantime, if they pull the strings and we don't react, we can disarm and have some powerful impact on some of these shenanigans that are planned. Let's recap. Yesterday, a patriotic American was killed in cold blood. Charlie Kirk passed away from a gunshot wound to the neck on a Utah campus yesterday. It has caused a lot of reaction from people. Sadly, some people weren't upset about it. They thought it was a good development. And there are those that said enough's enough. And I wanted to do a video that didn't exploit the situation. I wanted to look into the fact that 61 times in 61 separate postings over the years, the 17 team reminded us that they want us divided because divided we are weak. And I think that I wanted this video, and that's why I chose the thumbnail I did, that I want to honor Charlie Kirk and his contribution to civil discourse and to speaking rationally and logically and with data, and to those that have opposing viewpoints without belittling them or putting them down. It's a strong legacy that he leaves us. And I want to honor that and not exploit it. But I did want to ask if we're going to find out that behind the known perpetrators of this event, are there some puppet masters? Are there those working in the shadows that are trying to further that agenda of having us be divided, reactionary, weak, etc.? So I asked about that. Now, we didn't get a firm yes in the case in the appearance of an ace, but the situation was illuminating as far as the cards had to say. First of all, yeah, there's someone behind it that has a lot of money that was putting it, they thought, to good use to cause heartache and division and keep that going. They had plans for more events of this nature, had and have more events. But the nice thing that the universe told us was, with some mindfulness on our part, we can let this be one of the last times that they elicit a reaction from us or have that outcome that they hope of causing more division or hatred or distance between groups and people, whether those groupings are by ages, gender, ideology, whatever that might be. The near future said that there's going to be a lot of success with people learning to manage their emotional intelligence and firm up that ability to, as Charlie often did, respond without reacting to opposing viewpoints, to even statements that were, they thought, designed to create a reaction. That learning responsiveness is powerful and is going to be embraced by more people, because the power to not participate, whether it is in a reaction that's desired or some other aspect of modern life that you choose not to participate, you can do so powerfully and without causing harm to others. And that's going to be something that is seen more and more in the near future. According to the universe, more and more of us are going to be choosing when, where, how, and how much we will respond to events Doesn't mean we're going to be passive and let those events go unchallenged, or not insist that there be consequences for those who perpetrate them, or that we won't continue to try to find out who's behind them and stop them. It just means that the time is here and people are embracing it to respond and not react. And I hope that is you. It's going to be me. That's it for this video. I thank you so much for your time and your attention and your viewership. I don't take you for granted, and this was kind of a serious topic. So again, today, no giggles. I still have my joy of life, and I'm glad I've got the gift of life. And I'll try to share some of that joy with you in other videos. But today was kind of serious, and I thought it's a good time that one of the ways we can honor the memory of Charlie Kirk, who was always very responsive without reacting to those he spoke with and questions he took from, we can embrace that and have that be part of the legacy that continues for this man who was a very valued member of the Truther movement. Until next time, I thank you so much. If you'd like to subscribe or like this video, I'd appreciate it if you did. And if you were willing to receive it, I send you love, light, and I wish for you everything bright. Bye.